Can Sean O'Malley pull off an upset over Aljamain Sterling? Although the card has taken some hits in recent weeks due to injuries, the UFC matchmakers were able to find late replacements, and the buzz entering Saturday's UFC 292 pay-per-view card at TD Garden in Boston remains electrifying. Even though fight fans won't get to see originally scheduled names like Henry Cejudo, Rob Font, Song Yadong and Cody Garbrandt, there remains no shortage of big storylines to look out for. UFC 292 is headlined by a bantamweight title fight between current champion Aljamain Sterling and number 2 ranked Sean O'Malley. Sterling is looking to solidify his name as one of the best bantamweight fighters of all time. Should Sterling defeat O'Malley, he would pass two-time champion Dominick Cruz for the most title defenses in UFC bantamweight history, for total. He would also extend his winning streak to 10 fights, dating back to a 2017 knockout loss to Marlon Moraes. Sterling has built an impressive resume at bantamweight that is stronger than he ever gets credit for. He has wins over former champions Renan Barão, 2 times over Peter Yan, TJ Dillashaw and Henry Cejudo, along with a submission of top contender Corey Sandhagen. Adding O'Malley to it should be the final performance the Funk Master needs to finally get the credit he deserves. Sterling is entering this fight as his final bout at the weight class, as he says 99% chance of this being the last fight at 135-pound division. And this should clear the way for rising teammate Merab Dvalishvili to fight for the title at this division. On the opposite side of Sterling, rising star Sugar Sean O'Malley gets his first shot at UFC gold and make a name for himself. Although one of the most popular fighters in the UFC, there are still some questions about how good the 28-year-old dynamic striker truly is. A win over Sterling, who is known for his ground game and Sean's weakness, would likely answer those questions in a dramatic way, and probably make O'Malley a global superstar. In the co-main event, Chinese sensation Zhang Weili begins her second reign as women's strawweight champion in a title defense against the Brazilian Amanda Lemos. Zhang regained her title by submitting former champion Carla Esparza 9 months ago, and the division has been strangely quiet since, besides Tatiana Suarez being back in the mix of this division. Lemos is coming from 2 straight stoppage wins over Michelle Waterson and Marina Rodriguez, and is a 3-1 underdog for this championship bout. Another Irish fighter on the rise, Garry, is in hopes to have his own breakthrough moment at UFC 292. He appears to have been strategically placed onto this card because of the Irish fan base in Boston. Fresh off a head kick finish of Daniel Rodriguez in May, Garry looks for his 3rd straight finish in 2023 when he welcomes a late replacement, Neil Magny, who jumped in for injured Jeff Neal. The ambitious and confident Irish fighter has been saying all week prior to the fights, he's the main attraction of the card. I believe that I'm carrying this 292 card on my back, and that if it wasn't for me, this card would go down the drain. I'm the superstar on the card. Garry often gets criticized for emulating McGregor's confidence, and let's see if he can back it up against a very experienced veteran like Neil Magny this coming Saturday. The other 2 bouts in the main card are in the bantamweight division. Mario Bautista is getting a late replacement, Damon Blackshear, who is coming from an impressive submission win one Saturday prior to this card. Bautista was scheduled to fight Cody Garbrandt, but the fighter had to withdraw due to injury a couple weeks prior to the bout. Also, Marlon Vera is fighting a late replacement, Pedro Munoz. Vera was originally scheduled to fight Henry Cejudo, who also had to withdraw due to injury. This card also has the return of former middleweight champion Chris Weidman, after a 2-year and 4-month layoff caused by his fibula and tibia snapping during his fight with Uriah Hall. And the crazy part of this gruesome story is that it's the same exact injuries Anderson Silva suffered on his left leg in his 2013 middleweight title rematch with Weidman. TUF 31 finale is going down this Saturday as well. Cody Gibson will fight Brad Katona in the bantamweight finale during the prelims at UFC 292 in Boston. Austin Hubbard and Kurt Holobaugh will square off in the lightweight finale. Both winners will earn UFC contracts. Who do you think are winning the bouts in the main card? And do you think Weidman will be confident and strong enough after his injury to win his bout against Brad Tavares? PFL heavyweights and women's featherweights, closer to $1 million purse. The PFL's run towards $1 million playoff finals takes another 2 finalists this Friday, with women's featherweights and heavyweights semifinals. In the main event, Hernan Ferreira will face Maurice Green, and the winner will advance to the 2023 PFL Heavyweight Final to fight for the $1 million grand prize later this year. In the co-main event, Alina Kolesnik faces 2022 PFL Lightweight Tournament winner Larissa Pacheco in the semi-finals of the PFL's 2023 Women's Featherweight Playoffs. Kolesnik failed to make weight for this bout, coming in 1.8 pounds over the featherweight limit. According to PFL's rules for this tournament, the fighter will be docked 1 point heading into their fight and also forfeit 20% of her purse to her opponent. The other two bouts for the heavyweight and women's featherweight semifinals are Denis Goltsov versus Jordan Heiderman in a heavyweight semifinal bout, Marina Mokhnatkina versus Amber Leibrock in a featherweight semifinal bout. These fighters all made weight for their respective semifinal bouts, and the winners have a chance to compete in the 2023 PFL World Championship Finals for a $1 million purse on November 24th later this year. Season finale fights are set for TUF 31. Cody Gibson defeated Rico Diciolo by submission, arm triangle choke, in round 1. It's now official that all 4 fighters set to compete in the finals at UFC 292 will have originally come from Team Chandler. The fight started, and the fighters were exchanging strikes on the feet. It seemed like Diciolo knew about Gibson's injured knee coming to the fight because the fighter was targeting that knee right from the get-go. An attempted strike was foiled by Diciolo, getting him to slip, and Gibson immediately capitalized, taking his back and attacking with ground strikes. Diciolo managed to shake Gibson off and get back on his feet, only for Gibson to take him down again, securing an arm triangle choke this time. Gibson now meets Brad Katona in the bantamweight finals. Gibson expressed his dislike of Katona, and things got a bit spicy during the show. Here's what he had to say.
I'm gonna hurt you in the finals, because all you're gonna do is hug my leg. That's all you do. You're afraid to fight, Brad.
Alright, Cody. Whatever you say.
I can't wait to smash it, bro.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It'll be like Christmas.
It will?
Yeah.
Just my existence angers him. I enjoy fighting. That's why I'm here for the second time. So why wouldn't I be here if I don't like fighting? You said yourself you wouldn't do it again.
I have a wife and kids, dude. You wouldn't know.
I don't know about the kids part. That's true. But I would do it again.
I'm sure you would.
I would.
You don't got much to leave.
Team Chandler's fighters Austin Hubbard and Kerr Hollowball will meet in the lightweight finals. At the end of the show, the 4 finalists faced off, along with coaches McGregor and Chandler. The 2 coaches are expected to face off in a welterweight bout at a date still to be determined. Who do you think are winning the final bouts at UFC 292? And do you think McGregor and Chandler will fight this year? For the second week in a row, Dana gives 5 fighters UFC contracts. At the end of the night, UFC President Dana White handed out 5 contracts to the winners on Tuesday. Dana White's Contender Series, Season 7 Week 2. In the main event, 3-time defending Cage Warriors lightweight champion, George Hardwick, took on Fury FC lightweight champion, Abdul Karim Al-Selwady, in an excellent showcase of 2 of the best lightweight prospects on the regional scene. Al-Selwady pulled out a big upset, being the biggest underdog in the card at +300. Here are the results for DWCS Season 7, Week 2. Abdul Karim Al-Selwady defeated George Hardwick via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27. Ibo Aslan defeated Paulo Renato Jr. via KO, punches, in round 1. Haider Emil defeated Emre Samnez via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. Eduardo Mora defeated Janena Silva via submission, rear naked choke, in round 1. Karolampos Gregoriou defeated Cameron Smotherman via TKO, punches, in round 1. You can watch Dana White's Contender Series live from the UFC Apex each Tuesday on ESPN+, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. If you live outside the US, you can watch on UFC Fight Pass.